I will give you a free plan for a 1 month from my company. I own a company for the internet. We provide camel urine with it. You know, you buy one, get one for free. All right. So the plan come with camel urine. Prophet Muhammad, he command us as a Muslims to drink camel urine. And the second you drink camel urine, you will feel like you are dying. You go to Korea, they take you to the hospital. They tell you who's the idiot. He told you to drink camel urine. Don't you know that this will kill you? You tell them that this is Prophet Muhammad. They will tell you who is the stupid Prophet Muhammad. Is he a kind of a kimchi? They say, no, Prophet Muhammad is a man. They say, what kind of a man? He will command you to drink urine. They said, oh, you do not know? Even we drink his own urine. And then the Korean, they will say, no shit. You know, but in the Korean way. Like, yeah, you know, really? You know, like, yeah. So, and then when they notice that you are just a Abdul, coming from the Abdul land, they will give you the execute. They say, okay, it's Abdul, you know, it's stupid. He says stupid things. And in the best scenario, they might discover that you are Abdul, but you are under the influence. I'm sorry, you are a liberal under the influence of Abdul. So you start drinking your urine and thinking urine is healthy. Okay, clear. Continue.
Your talent and your integrity. That should be all that matters. And the woke mind virus that I call it is against all of that. It's wrong.
Thank you. Elon, we hear so much about censorship being pushed by governments and global corporations and organisations. A lot of people don't understand why we're allowing mass, uncontrolled immigration into all Western nations. Do you believe that there are powerful forces outside of elected officials, someone controlling governments, that are trying to control the flow of information, and how do we resist that pressure?
Yeah, I think when you look at the behavior of organizations or people, you have to say, what is the incentive for these organizations? And frankly, there's a massive incentive on the left to import voters. So if they can't convince their nation to vote for them, they're going to import people from other nations to vote for them. This is a massive factor. And frankly, it's a strategy that will succeed if it is not stopped. Thus far, it is succeeding. And you see strong movements to allow people who are not from Britain to vote in Britain, to allow people who are not from France or elsewhere to vote in those countries, and thus depriving the citizens of their democratic power. It's really a voter importation thing, and if they're allowed to succeed, if this is allowed to continue, they will succeed in importing voters, swaying the elections, and taking your vote away from you. That is 100% what is happening.
Do you know what's great? The BBC and the mass media cannot control this, can they? I love it.
I mean, the BBC is complicit in the destruction of Britain.
And
exactly. Actually, maybe you do not know, guys, that the BBC was funded from the beginning by Saudi Arabia. If you go right now and search, you will be amazed. You know, always when I was in the Middle East as a kid, we listened to the BBC. But it was different at that time, by the way. Now the BBC is just a bunch of a scumbag, you know, like they have agenda of the liberals. But the surprising is that once the BBC they made an interview with a Saudi person, and he spoke negatively about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia dismissed BBC fund. And this is when Al Jazeera created. All those who used to work in BBC Arabic were fired immediately because there's no money. Imagine the government of England cannot afford a radio station. Who pay for it? The Saudi. This is since long time ago. I was a kid. I was just a kid. They are paying BBC full salary. Not like little donation. No. The whole BBC is funded by Saudi Arabia. Until one day, if you want to know which date is that one, when the Saudi Arabia, they stopped funding the BBC, is the same when Al Jazeera TV, by the terrorists of Qatar, created. So Qatar, they noticed the BBC because at that time the BBC Arabic was controlling the Middle East as a news. Everybody listened to them. So when the BBC dismissed as a station, as an Arabic station, Qatar, they found an opportunity. They hire all those who work in the BBC Arabic. They contact them immediately, and they started Al Jazeera TV. So the plan to control Europe is long time ago, is exist. They found TV station Sky News. Check Sky News. Their money is all over the place. And that's why we are like, I'm happy to see Elon Musk, because he's rich, he's powerful, not because, I mean, there's many, they own companies, but his company is involved heavily with high-tech, powerful things. Even now, like, we have the Doom project, which is going to be to protect America from missiles. Elon Musk is involved with it. Big deal. So we are happy to have him in our side, even though sometimes he say things like, weird, but sometimes he take drugs. You never know, right? All rich people, they have a problem with drugs. You get rich, you get bored, you think you are God maybe, and then you go to the moment of a dry, spirited dry, spiritual dry. So what do? You take drugs, and then you die. So I hope he will not take drugs no more. Every rich person, most of those celebrities, they end dead by drugs, not by normal death. So I hope he will continue, to be healthy in his mind, supporting those who need support, fighting side by side with us against the demons who they are living in the West, controlled by the Arab.
Pay for it, Elon. We pay for it.
Yes.
We're forced to pay for it. Do you know they send them to jail if we don't pay for it?
You're forced to pay for your own destruction. It's insane. It's unfair. It is wrong.
Elon, a lot of ordinary people that are here today, they feel ignored, they feel censored, or they're labelled just for speaking up about their legitimate fears and concerns in their communities. Do you believe technology, like X or even AI, can finally give power back to those people? Or do you think it will make censorship worse or even automate it?
I mean, that's a complicated question. It really depends on what government is in charge. The government can obviously use whatever powers are available to suppress the people. And so I really think there's got to be a change of government in Britain. And you can't, we don't have another 4 years or whatever the next election is. It's too long. Something's got to be done. There's got to be a dissolution of.
If Elon Musk, he live in England, they will arrest him now. Do you know that the Minister of Security and Intelligence in England is a Muslim woman from Pakistan? Do you know that? Do you know how much they are now in control of the country? The King of England is not ruling anything. Those people, they are gone a long time ago. You remember when the king became a king, so-called king, he spoke about multi-faith, and then even his son, the crown prince, he started making a speech about multi-faith. England is multi-faith country. It's not a Christian country no more. It's multi-faith. But the Constitution of England says this is a Christian country, and the king's duty is to protect the faith. They are trying to switch the narrative. The king is accomplished in the plan, and he is no Christian, I guarantee you. Even in the ceremony, he refused to do certain part of the ceremony where they have to anoint him by oil with the cross. He said, I want to do it in private. Why? Because I think he did not do it. He's no Christian. And we know, I mean, he is a loser. He's a lunatic. He is a fornicator. Him and his wife. I mean, his wife, she was the bike of the town. Even Muslims, they have sex with her. In fact, the one who died with her in the car is his last boyfriend. I cannot count for you how many boyfriends she have. She was busy. Imagine this woman, she was going to be the Queen of England. This is how wicked this family is.